Cool. Oh, where do we find this? And what is it? Get inside. Okay. Let's see. It's a very special Valentine. I think this one will be coming out around Valentine's Day. I'm not 100% on that, but we gotta make this a very sensual and erotic Stellaris. Oh God, what have I done? Good morning, everybody. It's Stewart with some more Stellaris. So today we have one real mission, right? We want to make first contact. We need to make a connection out there in this vast expanse of space. And to that end, well, let's unpause and just kind of leave it running, and hopefully it'll happen sooner rather than later. Yeah, it's a pretty empty galaxy so far. We in some ways got. I mean, normally this would be a very lucky start, plenty of room to expand, but in this particular playthrough, not so much, because we are actually trying to. Sorry about that. A little brain fart, but let's see. Yeah, we're doing a Xeno Compatibility run, and so far, yeah, it's pretty quiet, pretty empty out in the darkness. Completed. Yeah, I definitely was just looking at quiet dark when I said that line. In the meantime, I mean, we got our economy building, we've got construction ships constructing. Things are, yeah, go ahead, research. There's going to be a lot of anomalies this early in the game, so most of them aren't terribly exciting. They're just a little boost to your research or your science. And if you want to read them, feel free to pause. Other stuff I noticed on the last recording. Oh, wow, look. I really thought this would... Oh, wait. No, it can still be going somewhere. From a distance, from this angle, it looks like it just stops right there, but no, it's if you... Now, Stellaris is actually a 3D game. It doesn't look it because most of it's kind of bound to 2 dimensions, but it is 3D. Some of the stars stick up a little bit higher off the screen than others, and sometimes you have to move around to see those hyperlane connections. Like that one was being real tricky, hiding behind the star like that. Yeah, see what I mean? They're all just like, plus 3 science of some planet or whatever. I don't particularly care about those events. That's why I'm skipping them so fast. But, if you do want to read about them, go ahead. I will stop for the major ones, the ones that can be kind of earth-shattering and totally change the game, but for the most part, if they're smaller events, I'm just gonna move on and continue letting the clock run. Concluded. Oh God, these strategic resource ones pop up constantly. They're annoying. I know there are exotic gases and junk out there. Who cares? Like, I'll find them, but it's not. It doesn't seem to me like you need to fill the whole screen up with an announcement about readings it. Registered. Oh. Interesting. I don't think I know this event. Okay, let's research it. I can't recall ever seeing an event like that. Ooh, it's rare that there's something I don't know about in Stellaris. I've played countless hours. It only World of Warcraft rivals this for the amount of time I put into it. Maybe Civilization when I was younger. I played an absolute ton of Civilization. Civilization like 2. Let's see. Decida. Where is this planet? Now, rock potential if it's near where you plan, okay, yeah, we might feasibly reach it. So, rock potential, if you haven't seen it before, has a chance to, it'll kind of say here, like, you can potentially get minerals and other goodies from the planet, but you gotta make a little investment. You gotta pony up some cash. And so, like, usually, like, I will do this event. It also gets your scientists some experience. But if it's near, like, an enemy civilization, I won't do it because I don't want them to get potentially a lot of free minerals. But this is fairly near where we're going to be settling. We might actually push out to here at some point. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's pay for that. It might pay off. Ooh, where's this? This might. Oh, that I don't like that bug at all. It just basically. Where? Okay, the Rantor. Oh, okay. Let's pause real quick. Let's figure out where Rantor is. If you ever need to find a star system, you can search. Let's look at this. Is this a Tianki? No. You see this? Now, I'm playing with preset empires. I'm not going to spoil who they are, but I did kind of keep the ship art in line with their particular empire. So, like, a Necroid ship means it's a Necroid civilization. This is a Lithoid ship, so we know that this is a Lithoid neighbor, which could potentially be not great. Like, we can't Xeno Compatibility with Lithoids. They're silicon-based or carbon-based. It just was never going to work out. So, these guys, they're not going to really set us up in the future with our Xeno Compatibility challenge. And they could potentially be a pain and be getting in the way. Like, they might end up being a big blocker, depending on who they are. I'm not going to spoil too much, but some of the rock creatures are pretty ornery. Let's say that. In the meantime, and also they're kind of spraying towards us. I suspect they're actually somewhere in this constellation, which means we got a race here, and I haven't scanned these star systems. So you were going to go down there and do a bunch of stuff. You're now going to start surveying because I feel like we might be in a race to get this black hole. What about this planet? Is that any good? Yeah, actually, it's pretty good. But it's also outside of our Earth sector. I'm really trying not to expand too far out, at least early game. So, I mean, I might scoop up these planets just because they'll make good fortress worlds. This one would too, actually. Anyway, this one would too. I mean, it's not huge, but I do like asteroid impacts and a Betharian field. Wow, this is a very good planet. But if this guy's like right here or something, he's gonna beat us to it most likely. We'll see. I'm definitely going to push up in this direction. I want this L-gate. We'll fight over it if we have to. I'm hoping we don't have to. I want to do a mostly peaceful run. Humans, they can't be badasses, but in this run, I kind of want to, make love, not war. So, we'll see. But potentially, we met an alien species. Let's actually start making first contact with them. We're going to need a fleet, so let's jump into our ship designer. I'll probably unpause it, but I'll crank down the speed slightly. Now, I hate the pre-designed ships. They drive me crazy, so we're not going to allow auto ships. We're going to make our own. I have my own little cute kind of naming convention. I like to name the ships after famous astronauts. In the future, I'll probably take name suggestions once we actually build up a following. For now, like I assume that since this is the very first video that we're putting out, that we don't have many people actually on the channel just yet, but I'm hoping that will change very soon. Let's see. So this is kind of tricky, right? What do you start with? Do you want to do interceptors or missile boats? Now, we saw some aliens down here. These guys, they have, yeah, go ahead, research it. They have very strong shields. So we could do interceptors and focus on mass drivers. I don't know if I want to do that. Now, the reason why, here I'll pause, the reason why I don't focus on mass drivers is they require engineering, and I use engineering for my economy. I don't really invest in, at least not right away, in the weapons in engineering. I mostly go for energy weapons, because what else am I going to be doing with physics? Not much, honestly. I mean, it's mostly ship parts and the better research labs, and everything else in this is pretty situational and not all that useful. I mean, yeah, we might need to research some L-gate insights, but other than that, yeah, I'm not really married to physics. I do prioritize engineering. I find it very valuable. I don't like wasting it on weapons slots. On the flip side, there is an energy weapon disruptors that could potentially deal with high aliens that focus on shields. So on the flip side, maybe we could do disruptors. They don't pop as frequently, but maybe we'll get lucky and get this early disruptors. Back to ship designer here. Of course, I exited, so now I have to redo all that. Corvette, please. Now, why am I calling it Laika? Well, Laika is, this is in honor of the very first creature from Earth to make it up into outer space. Laika was basically a stray dog that the Soviet space program scooped off the streets of Moscow, put in a rocket, and sent up on the first suborbital flight with the living creature. She did not survive. She wasn't meant to survive, which honestly was kind of cruel of them. But, you know, they wanted to win the race of being the first to get a living creature up into orbit, and there was a lot of testing that was needed for. They needed to test whether or not low gravity kills organisms. They had no idea. They didn't know if your lungs would collapse, or if you would get the bends, or any other number of weird things from zero gravity. And so they're testing that. They also wanted to see was the G-forces from liftoff, was that too much? Would that kill a man if you put them on board? So, you know, they had a whole bunch of sensors strapped up to her brain, her heart, monitoring her vital signs, and she was doing fine until you know, they never designed the spacecraft that she was in, and I believe it was the Sputnik 2 was the actual ship model, but they never designed it for re-entry. It had no heat shield because it was too lightweight. They wouldn't be able to actually put the ceramic tiles needed for a proper heat shield. So they intentionally killed Laika by allowing her cabin. They had no way to reduce heat, and in space, because it's vacuum, it's the same principle as a thermos, right? Heat doesn't dissipate that well across a vacuum. So over time, if you don't have special dedicated radiators, your spacecraft's going to heat up. And Laika, that was her sad fate. She basically overheated in her own body heat because they didn't bother to give her any real method of expelling heat from the cabin. And that was intentional. They knew that Laika would die, and they had to come up with a way to do it that would be not terrible. So instead of starving to death, they just kind of let her, you know, overheat. Which, you know, scientific testing, I'm on the fence about it. I actually worked at a lab once where we did live animal testing, and I'll tell you, it's damaging psychologically. You hate. We worked with rats, and I like rats. I don't like wild rats, but I like fancy rats. The little like kind of, the ones bred to be pets with humans. They're very intelligent. They're very kind. They would always come up to you and beg for treats. Like they're fun little animals, and I admit I probably got a little too close to some of the rats we were doing studies on, and it was sad when we had to put them down for the test. Um, the way we did it was pretty humane. We put them in a vacuum chamber, and basically, um, the oxygen got reduced enough that they just kind of pass out, and then that's it. But it was still very sad. If you're interested in what we were studying, we were looking at parasites and basically how worms can spread. So it was an interesting experiment. We had to dissect them and check their intestinal lining and stuff is why that it had to be a fatal experiment. But I didn't do that for very long. Like I said, I wasn't all that comfortable with taking the life of animals I'd grown close to. So I ended up getting out medical. This was in college. I was doing work study. I ended up leaving medical and instead doing field ecology. So we'll probably talk about that in the future. In the meantime, though, let's see. I'm going to actually do. Now, this is questionable, right? Let's get back to talking. Well, I'm not going to unpause because we're going to have a whole bunch of first contact events popping up and all that. Let me collect my thoughts and have my first sip of coffee this morning. Man, I got hooked on in college. Never gonna give it up. Love a nice coffee in the morning, throughout the day. God, I have like 5-6 cups. It's crazy. Probably not the healthiest thing in the universe, but we all have our vices. So let's see here. Now, I was just talking about how I don't want to get too much into the weapon side of things from engineering. So going missiles is a little bit questionable because this means our main damage source comes from technology and engineering. On the flip side, I mean, either case, you do need some engineering weapons. Like we would need, if we are trying to fight these particular aliens down here early, we would need mass drivers, because mass drivers, if you look down here, yeah, they get plus 50% shield damage. They can bust shields very quickly. And these particular aliens, they're all shielding. They have very little else going on. They have no armor. So the more you damage their shields, the better off you'll be. On the flip side, missiles ignore shields. Like if we pull them up, 100% shield penetration, 25% hull damage. So these are actually even stronger than the mass drivers against those particular aliens. The problem is that these aren't the only things that we have to fight. We also potentially have these guys. Now, look here. Is that the science ship? Oh, that's still the science ship. I thought that was an alien space station, which would mean that we would definitely have a race on our hands to get this black hole, but it's not. It's still the science ship. I suspect they're like here, maybe here. Like there's somewhere in this constellation, most likely. But they haven't quite spread out in this direction. The AI prioritizes planets. Lithoid AI, which we know that is from the ship design, will really prioritize this planet because it's all minerals, and they love minerals. So I'm going to be nice and just kind of let them have that so long as I get this. If they beat us to this, it's war, because I want the L-gate. I want to do L-gate stuff, and there's a chance I might beat this. I mean, we are way behind on scanning these particular planets. So who knows? What are you up to? Okay, I have you scanning all this stuff. I'm going to abandon that and actually send you up here because I want to get these as soon as possible. I don't have you do here, here, and here. As for you, why don't you finish surveying here, and we'll follow this guy in this direction, get the 2 that he missed, and then, yeah, just move here. Okay, so that's all scheduled. But yeah, so on the flip side, going back to the missiles real quick. Missiles can be a trap when you have AI that you have to fight. AI civilizations, not spaceborne aliens. And the reason why is all they need to do is get this. If they get point defense sentinels, that almost completely shuts down any missile attack. And it's real easy early game for the AI to get even just a few point defense corvettes, which would make these almost completely useless, and we would need to do a retrofit and do it quickly. Now, the reason why I'm talking about my first weapon choice so much is the more you invest in a particular weapon in terms of building it on your ships, the more likely you are to get the technology cards for it. It's kind of a fun little feature that your technology reflects in part what you're doing in the game. It's very well designed. I think this is one of the strongest things about Stellaris. It makes every playthrough unique and interesting because, like, sometimes events will change how you research. It's a good time, and it's still not impossible to focus if you know what you're doing, and I kind of do, so we should be able to focus at least a bit down the biology tree in particular, trying to unlock Xeno Compatibility ASAP. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and do missiles, and the reason why is in the future, if we have to drop missiles, we'll still have the option to get disruptors as a way to get past shields, because we're gonna go deep down the energy tree of weapons, and you still have one energy weapon on a missile boat. Whatever these are called. What are they? Section. So yeah, the missile boat section still have some energy weapons, so we'll still proc energy weapon technologies. That's all good. As for armor and stuff, you always want a mix of armor and shields. Never go all one or the other. You won't be able to survive certain attacks. You want to balance both. For corvettes, I favor shields because shields recharge, whereas armor doesn't. Armor, you have to go back to a space station and repair to get back up to full, where shields can recharge in the field, meaning that these guys can be out doing stuff for longer before having to go back to repair. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze potentially. No, it was one of those ones where you feel a sneeze coming and it just stops, and it's the worst. Okay, our first fleet, I'm going to bump this up straight to 10. That is not 10. Control. What? I thought shift would fill it and control would do plus 10. Whatever. Okay, yeah, we're going to 10 initially. I did not get the tech that makes. I didn't get this one. That would make the Corvettes cheaper. If it pops next, I'll pick it up. That's why I'm only going to 10 for now. Because I want the potential to save some money on those Corvettes. The last 20. We will fill out to 20 fairly soon, but for now, 10 should be enough to keep. I did not save the ship design, did I? Okay, Leica, auto upgrade, save, and we'll delete the random design. While we're here, we might as well also do our defense platforms. Now, it's a strength 25 end crisis. We probably do want some defenses. I like to go with hangars these days. They've been upgraded. They are good mid to early to mid game. They're very solid, and they do more pirate suppression than the other options. So I'll invest a little bit into hangar bays. They aren't great super late game, but by that point, it'll be pretty easy to retrofit. We'll have the alloys to afford that. Also, in terms of strike craft, are kind of cool because they also act as point defense. These little flying ship, like these, these scout wings and stuff, will actually fly out and shoot down missiles. So, you're getting 2 for 1 here. You're getting an attack, but that's stronger than point defense would be, but you're also getting a little bit of point defense. They're not incredibly effective at it, but they can actually do it, which is kind of cool. Now, I call my naming convention for the hangar platforms, I name after the Wright brothers, because why not? They invent flying, and just save. Like I said, in the future, we might start naming some stuff after people if they have good suggestions. Audience members, delete please. And all that, but for now we just don't have. And this is literally going to be the first, well, probably the second video. So yeah, we don't have to really worry about that for now. But in the future, if you want to make suggestions, jump right in. I will try to alter stuff if it would break immersion. Like if you're like, I don't know, if you come up with a name that you want like 69420, I might change that to not be ridiculous, just so it fits the setting. All right, so this is an interesting one. It's a shame. My favorite starting admiral is Trickster. Let's see. So this is cautious is all right. Aggressive is all right too, but it's better late game because it's percentage. Well, everything's really percentage, right? But the weapon's range, I feel, is actually better than aggressive in terms of battles because it lets you get an opening volley first. And early game, when the opening volleys can be pretty devastating, like especially with missiles. Cautious feels stronger to me, but aggressive is also very good. On the flip side, this is an old admiral, so we'll only get about 30 years worth. We'll get 40, maybe 50 years out of this one. So it's it's not much cost, but it is a cost. The eager is dumb. I just don't get it. So out of these two, yeah, I feel like the ship fire rate is slightly better, but cautious is not that bad. Trickster is the one I would go for early game if we had the option, but we don't. So, all right, and do we go ahead and invest now? You know what I'm gonna do for now? Let's go right back to the fleet manager. I'm actually going to leave it at 5, and I will reinforce to 5. It's early game. These guys probably don't have an exceptionally big and scary navy going on. I have not even queued that up. Okay. We're finally going to unpause. And while that's going on, I'll be right back. All right, I'm right back. I had to I just need to grab my phone real quick because we are keeping track of, let's see, you. I'll move you up here so he's ready to build. Again, we're definitely in a race to claim these areas. So I'm going to pay attention to that. Let's get faster pop speed. We got an upgrade fleet. We got an expanding fleet. Yeah, we're all good. And we're just kind of waiting to make these first contacts, see what's going on with these guys. I kind of already know who they are because I made them in the thing, but I'm not gonna spoil it, and we'll see them once we see them. Another big gulp of coffee. Gotta keep the vocal cords working. Yeah. Again, if you want to read the small little science pop-up things, you can. Oh, we were in the middle of building one, and that's why we have to upgrade again. Okay, that's annoying. Oh, and this one's probably going to be the one too. Hologram. Huh. Oh yeah, this is that new event. Alright, if it's a new event, I'll go ahead and read it. Why not? Investigation of the unrecognized fleet signatures in the Navogi black hole system reveal an unexpected discovery. The fleet is not, in fact, in safe orbit of the black hole, rather crossing its event horizon. Oh, okay, cool. So this is a relativity thing. Basically, so when you're in a high gravity field, as in around the event horizon of a black hole, time dilation comes into effect. If you ever saw there's a movie recently with that as kind of a part of the plot. Good lord, I can't remember the name of it at all. It's pretty good. I mean, I like they did an okay job with trying to explain some difficult scientific concepts. It's always hard for Hollywood to do that. So I think it was Interstellar. Yeah, Interstellar was the name of it. But yeah, so basically there's time dilation going on because they're very close to a very intense gravitational field. So from our point of view, it looks like the ships are frozen. From their point of view, time is passing normally. That's just kind of what time does. Relativity, I studied a bit in college. I attempted to get a physics degree. Didn't quite get every requirement done. What happened was it was a small college, and the teacher was going to teach modern physics went on sabbatical. And so they had no one to teach it, and so I only got half of my modern physics done before I graduated, which they really ought to have made that clear when I devoted so much time to physics. But anyway, what are you going to do? The mathematics of modern physics is very challenging. I got straight C's in it. So it was never meant to be my thing. I was a double major in physics and biology, and I ended up just going full on biology in the end, which I was very happy with. I love biology. It speaks to me. Anyway, and speaking of which, I will definitely. I'm gonna do some videos that are like the science of Stellaris, where I try to like talk about these concepts in more detail, more so than we would have time to go over in a let's play, because I don't want to have it pause for half an hour while I talk about Einstein and relativity and all that. But I'm definitely going to put out a few, probably like, they're not going to be long videos, but just covering one science fiction concept from Stellaris and just talking about it and all that. Because I think that'll be a lot of fun, and I haven't seen anyone do that before. So why not do something new? Anyway, so this is, let's see, continuing on. The man, the dude, Kabir Surayaprak. He conjectures that the fleet approaches Navogi's centuries ago. Time dilation left their image detectable on its surface. Was it intentional? Some unhappy accident? We'll never know. Okay, so it adds some society research. Very cool. Oh, where do we find this? And what is it? Get inside. Okay. Let's see. It's a very special Valentine. I think this one will be coming out around Valentine's Day. I'm not 100% on that, but we gotta make this a very sensual and erotic Stellaris. Oh God, what have I done? Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll go for this archaeology site. It's not a particularly difficult one, difficulty 1. We might get some bonuses from it. I don't like expanding just for archaeology sites unless they're like difficulty 4 or 5 and we'll have massive rewards. Archaeology is either incredible or meh.
Anomalous readings.
Okay, continue to research the thing. Another tomb world,
Ship
interesting.
upgrades applied.
Okay, yeah, we gotta
System
upgrade
survey
again
completed.
because of that nonsense of I queued ships up before I had the design set,
Ship
and
upgrades
let me make sure
applied.
that I actually have it set to Leica. Okay, good. Sometimes I make that mistake
An
and I feel like
alien
a
nation
fool.
is
Ah,
harmless.
yeah, the Serene Taijuru Empire. These guys are a pain on purpose. So I designed this galaxy to have basically all kinds of different ethics. I want there to be constant war, bloodshed. It's a very grim, very dark place to be. And that's what these guys are all about. They're very xenophobic, isolationists. They don't want anything to do with anybody. Leave them alone. And I designed them on purpose to get in the way and basically be a blocker to other empires. And unfortunately, they are playing that role to a T. But I am the victim because if I can't get past them, they're going to close the borders, and then I'll never know what's going on over in this direction. So that's something we're going to have to deal with. I don't know if these three options here actually do anything. So I'm just going to pick the most neutral sounding one to me. Like, we could learn from each other. I'm sure they don't want to learn anything about us. They don't like us. They are xenophobes. So I got to change how I'm going to research or survey with this guy. I don't, or this lady. I don't want to get cut off by the Taijru expanding in this direction before I can get to there. So I'm going to straight up just order this ship to explore here. Hopefully they can get ahead of the Taijru expansion, and then we will be free to explore this section of the galaxy without getting kicked out of their territory. We might not win that race. They could be expanding here. They could be expanding here, but it's worth a try. All right, still waiting. Our construction ship is hopefully these will research will quickly, and I can build down this direction. Because if you look at their government, let's go to contacts. Okay, so they have overwhelming fleet power. We're going to need to get more ships. That's good to know. Let's see. How do we look at their government again? God, I think I just communicate. Right, they're civics. So that's just I wanted these guys to be kind of like they live on a beautiful Gaia world, and they want to stay to themselves. And I made them kind of mystical looking. They're maybe gonna go for psychic because they're spiritualists. Who knows? Like they make no sense. They're rock monsters that can move and talk and stuff. So yeah, they're magic. I also give them inward perfection. That's why they won't be friendly with us ever. They can never open their borders or anything. And it means that they have tons of unity and pop growth. And basically, these guys, they won't blob out too quickly, I don't think, in terms of just straight. Well, they actually do have a boost to influence. Yeah, Starbase influence is down, so that they actually can blob out. Okay, well, good to know. They can blob out. They're going to take up a ton of land. Hopefully, they don't beat us here. If they do beat us here, it's war, because I'm not going to sit stuck behind a wall of the rock monsters while half the galaxy is cut off to me. So, with that in mind, let's expand our fleet, because they are overwhelming, and that scares me. We're going to go to 10, and hopefully at 10 will be either superior or equivalent in fleet. If they're overwhelming fleet, they're going to be willing to declare war. But if we can get them down to equivalent or superior, they're much less likely to declare war. In fact, I'm pretty sure that unless they are like the kind of empires that love war, they won't declare war. I'm not going to waste an envoy on them. There's no point. They would never want to do a migration treaty with us. And we can't interbreed with silicon-based life. So there's really no point to wasting our time with an envoy with them. Unless we're trying to go for like a peace treaty. But we don't need peace if we have a big fleet. So, yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. I noticed that our food's getting really high. Let's go ahead and do our classic monthly trade. I got put down. I'm trying to drink coffee and do that at the same time. Let's see. If I hold shift, yeah, it's like it's reversed for some reason. Anyway, so let's add that. We'll sell 100 every month until it's down to nothing again. It used to be you wanted food. It used to be for 1,000 food you could boost your pop growth. They killed that for some reason. Wow, we have what? Oh, I haven't, okay. Normally I run with this policy. Normally I run with consumer benefits because I like to build a ton of science labs. So we are going to do that, and actually we are going to go ahead and build a science lab as well. The other reason why energy is so high is we're selling food. I looked at them like, how do we have 70 energy this early in the game? But it's that because we're selling food. That won't last all that long. There's void clouds. These are the things that we met over here. They are energy beings that are very aggressive and nasty, and because they're energy beings, they don't really have armor because they're immaterial. They're just like made out of energy, I guess. A lot of the spaceborne aliens they're based on like creatures from Star Trek and other places. The creators of Stellaris are very obviously. So because we're cut off here, this is actually the only science ship that can explore this region. So I'm going to backtrack a little because I suspect in this constellation of stars we might make contact with an alien, and that would be very nice. How am I going to survey this? I'll go straight down the middle, then work my way back up, doing kind of this little zigzag pattern. Now, when the opportunity arises, I will get automatic exploration, but for now, we're just going to be doing a lot of queuing up. Can't help it. There's really no other option. So I guess we can send both of them down this way. I'll order you to go just straight down the line here, ignore all these little side branches, see what is going on with this black hole. As for you, you can do the whole seeing what's going on with these little side bits. Yeah, that way we'll have the most coverage of all those stars. Another little sip there. Now I'm seeing a nice little ocean world and stuff. I'm wondering if this is going to end up being another constellation with some life that we can meet. It could be. I have it set to very low guaranteed plants, pop growth speed. Take it every time. Okay, we got some energy. That's nice.
To the universe.
Whoa.
We have detected.
Oh, okay. So we finished that research. Everything's happening all at once. Please pause. I'm not going to go straight for blue lasers, and the reason why is there's a chance that we can get that just by surveying plants, and we still have a lot of plants left to survey, so I'm going to leave that one alone for now. This one is pretty good to start thinking about getting, but early game I think I'll focus on getting some research speed just to speed everything else up. I feel like getting this sooner rather than later, it pays off even more. Let's turn off, let's stop selling now, because I want to see where our economy is. I suspect we might actually be zeroing out on energy credits now that yeah, down to 1. It's because I changed that policy. Okay, rare crystals, those pop-ups are annoying. Oh, was I right or was I right? Yeah, they spread into here very quickly. I suspect they're going to go straight for this planet. They might be a little slow in trying to get Let's go ahead and continue to expand. Just to help things along my economy, I'm going to get another construction ship. And send it down in this direction so we can start hopefully getting this black hole before they get here. Now, lithoid empires, they focus on getting minerals. That's one reason why he might try to be spreading to Boschpot, because it's got 6 minerals. I don't know what's going on in the rest of these star systems, though. There might be a planet here. Who knows? Okay, so we met another one. Where is this? Because this is kind of a major event. Okay, so space amoebas. Space amoebas are dangerous. They're very hard to kill early on. Now, normally I would opt to just straight research these. But with them over here, they could potentially be getting in the way a lot as we try to spread in this direction. Especially, so this is Amor Alveo this is where space amoebas are born. This is where they live and make more baby. So this whole region of space is going to be full of space amoebas. Is going to be full of space amoebas, and that could be a problem for us potentially. On the flip side, I don't see us expanding down in this direction all that quickly. We already have the black holes we need for our economy. You only really need one in your star system. So I don't see us going for Rixicar's Maw. And also, like, this makes a good choke point, so we'd probably expand here or no further. I think we're going to actually... we'll do the initial research, and then, I guess my plan is to, what's it called? I'm not going to try to befriend them. I'm going to, study them.
System survey concluded.
So that'll take too long to research right now. Wait for scientists to level up. Now this, neither of these are really huge, but our economy is taking a little dip, so let's see if we can help it with galactic ambition. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. This will probably go to -2. So, whatever. It's just the way it is. In the meantime, let's go ahead and re-queue that up. And you just finished. I'm going to go ahead and have you build there. And this one I will send further afield. The idea is, like, by the time this guy gets down here, he'll probably be the first construction ship who gets here, and he can build beat the Chai Drew or whatever they're called. Yeah, see, it only went from -3 to -2. That thing matters more. This matters more late game, but it's not that early game percentage wise. 20%, it means nothing really. Let's check contacts. They're superior now, so we can relax a little bit in terms of building Corvettes. We'll have to keep checking on that. If they start to creep back up above superior, that means that we will. Let's see. I'm gonna leave B for now. It's tempting to research this because if the Taijuru expand to here, we won't be able to get that unless we war them. I think we're going to have to war them anyway, just to get free passage. Maybe even make them a vassal in the future. These guys probably won't expand too far. It's just CI personality. They don't like to expand that far. But you never know. They might. Let's see. In terms of... So this guy... Keep on expanding. And this other... Leave that be.
System survey concluded.
Pleon, are you moving somewhere? Yeah, you're moving down here. I want you to go here now. He'll probably not even win that race. Yeah, we could learn to coexist. I'm gonna do the study instead because I like what you can get. Nope, I hit tab for some reason. I'm gonna hit Q. Okay, so Cursa. Let's go ahead and actually let's survey in this direction. just to see what is going on now. You will hear a very excited puppy barking downstairs. It's, you know, early morning, so that's when the dog and the cat and all that get their breakfast, and they're gonna be super excited. Let's see here. Oh, well, out of all these, it's tempting to get fusion missiles since we are using missile platforms, but strike craft are also quite good. I think I'm gonna go with missiles actually. Just to boost our navy even more. I'm a little bit concerned that we are falling behind our fleet power. Okay, so this one is done. Okay, this is our meticulous scientist. So let's. Okay, campaign is happening.
Anomalous readings
Ooh,
registered.
yeah, definitely research
Anomalous
that.
readings registered.
Please stop. Okay. Why are... Oh, no. We're not going to get that 30 because I haven't gotten enough minerals for my star bases. What am I talking about? The situation log, the mineral refining. Is there a way that we could cheat that in? We could buy minerals. I think that would do it. It's worth it. We'll do a monthly trade for 100 minerals. It's going to eat up our energy credits, but I think early game it's worth. It's just worth having like the extra unity. So shift click, control down, add, and this way, like we'll just run that through the. We'll also add a monthly trade where we are selling this, and we'll sell 100. That way, our economy won't completely go into the drain because we still have some food to sell. That way, by the time, hopefully that will give us the plus 30, so we get that. It's kind of a way to cheat it in, but it's worth it for the month of Unity, I think, this early in the game. And yeah, we'll definitely get that. Our economy is dying, but you know it's worth it for 1 month. Okay, research. And we're just, you know, cruising along. We've made our first contact, but it's not an exciting one. It's not one that we can potentially get a migration treaty with. You know, they're kind of blocking us in terms of a lot of things. So hopefully we can deal with the Taizru sooner rather than later. They are a pain to invade. Lithoids are very strong army-wise, but we'll see what happens. Okay, annoyingly, we lost one of our scientists because scientists can run for election and office, and they won, even though Dolores got her promise. Maybe everyone knew that she was it was an empty promise and she was cheating it in. I don't know. Let's remove this, and we can go ahead and remove this as well. Fix our crazy drop in energy. What is our new mandate? Right back to minerals refining. Well, hopefully we'll get enough minerals that we won't have to do that trick next time. Yeah, see, we lost our leader because, it was our meticulous scientist. Of course it was. So annoying that happens. I'm really tempted to try hiring some scientists to see if we proc a meticulous one. But we'll go through a lot of energy credits very quickly doing that. I think at this point we need to start scanning nearby systems. And the dream of having a meticulous scientist kind of find all these extra little anomalies, I think that dream is dead. So instead, okay, I'll do it one time since it's an eager scientist. And we didn't luck out. Gosh. Let's just do I think I already have both of these, right? Statecraft. Yeah, I do. Okay, well, we'll go with that. We'll fire the eager scientists, because what's the point? They're useless. Slap you on there, and just go ahead and start scanning and working your way back because I need to start colonizing some star systems soon. So that means we need to actually scan all these planets, the ones that are within the main Earth sector. And that's tragic that the election robbed us of a particular scientist to be doing these scans, but it's just the way it goes. Now, we are... we're about halfway through. I want to record for about an hour.
Construction completed.
I think that's a good time. Leave B. And let's we already have one at the black hole. Okay, like bad time to pick up a coffee. I'm trying to play the game with one hand. Mining station, yes, intriguing. You go ahead and secure our gateway, the L gate. Awesome. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. Every so often you want to check contacts. They're still superior. There's some Zro. I think it's supposed to pronounce zero, but I call it Zro. I don't know. That stuff it's okay. It's not absolutely required. It's just kind of a passive bonus for non-spiritualist empires. Spiritualist empires really like it, so this is the event I was talking about, light show. Yeah, you just get blue lasers for free. Saves a lot of time. I usually don't research blue lasers because I tend to get this. It's a fairly easy thing to proc. And if you have 7 science ships out there scanning and surveying, you're very likely to get this. So we'll go ahead and upgrade our ships and just, good stuff. Now, we'll definitely want particle weapons. Our main weapons are going to be particles. I'll probably switch off of missiles eventually. But for now, like, it's fine with how we're doing it. Let's go ahead and get extra engineering. Now, I'm not going to go for this planet. It's too far away to be in my main sector. I don't especially like to rush out beyond the sector when I start. I want to keep it in Earth sector if possible. I feel like you can very easily overexpand trying to scoop up planetary systems, and I don't particularly like that playstyle of blobbing out as fast as possible. It's probably more effective than trying to stay small, but it gets kind of difficult in terms of just managing everything that you're doing. You get tons of pop-ups saying, oh, this thing happened, that thing happened. And you can't focus on... Okay, so we got our first factions. As expected, nothing surprising. The Xenophile and the Egalitarian faction. That'll give us a little bit of approval and influence. So we'll be able to expand a little bit faster. Thanks for that. The other reason I didn't go for a treaty with these guys is I don't especially feel threatened by them in terms of military prowess. We're about equal, so I don't need a peace treaty. Oh, look at that. I was right. Let's pause real quick. Yeah, this constellation had another species. So, if we go down here, we can take a look at them. Mammalian. That could be a lot of different things, actually. So, this can be a surprise for me. Well, we'll see what it is. So, go ahead and cue that up and see who we meet. Otherwise, yeah, we're just kind of cruising along. I do want to fix the energy sooner rather than later. We seem to be getting lower and lower on that. So let's go ahead and build us another generator district. We're pretty close to, we're about midway to, a little bit under midway, but we're getting towards being able to get more employees, and I'm actually going to favorite the technician job. It's a very important job early game. Let's see, leave B. I tend not to research the ones that would take over 5 minutes to do. Hopefully, as the science level up, it won't be so punishing. Now, you are off doing that. I'll send this one down here. It's not as important to survey these little branches, but I still like to do it, just for increasing the chances of good anomalies. Meanwhile, let's see, you're building this. I want to go ahead and let's let's get this one secured. Just because 5 energy, it'll help our economy a lot. While I'm thinking about it, do I want to turn? I'm not going to. It's tempting to turn all, close my borders to the Taijuru, because they're going to leave their borders closed, so I should probably do the same. That way they can't get in here and snipe some of these plants from me. On the flip side, it'll make them angry at me. It's kind of, a double standard, right? I mean, they close their borders. Why can't I do the same? But they'll get in a hissy fit. I'm actually going to do it because they've met another empire. It seems like they don't like them. So closing our borders and being nasty to these guys will make the imps, whoever they are, potentially like us more. So let's go ahead and do that. It costs us no influence. It feels like the right move. It will upset them a little bit. Like, they'll drop more. But we're not trying to make friends with them, so it's fine. Alright, so we completed our first tradition. What do they call it? Like set or tree, or I forget the technical term, but we completed it, so we can get our first ascension perk, and that is going to be technological ascendancy. I don't start with any other one. I like the extra rare techs. I like the research speed. The others options early on really don't do much, and tech does a ton. So yeah, we're definitely going to focus on that. Drinking water, very
We have detected
nice. I don't know. How would you describe drinking water? I guess it's cold, it's moist. Yeah, there's a word, by the way, on the list of words that people hate. Moist. Yeah, awful word. There are a few out there that are just like, they grate on the ears. But yeah. Gotta stable your fluids, so keep on drinking. Where is this wormhole? Oh, that's annoying how that happens, actually. We'll have to hunt it down. Debris field. Okay, Zeta Reticuli. I mean, I'm not like rushing to get that wormhole. We have a better thing. This is better than a wormhole. Pushing out to here seems like kind of a pain. Okay, so we finally met our very special first contact. Hopefully it's a very romantic one. Hopefully there's some sparks. Yeah, the Divine Alari Imperium. These guys are jerks, but they are beautiful alien sphinxes. Yeah, it's not realistic in terms of, like, the odds of an alien looking almost identical to a human, but with these rubber forehead type aliens, where it's like, oh, you slap prosthetics on and you would pass for them. Very unlikely to actually happen in terms of evolution. But in terms of just storytelling and, like general science fiction tropes, why not? I threw in a couple humanoids. They're not realistic in terms of evolution. Like, I mean, you could argue for convergent evolution, and I have no doubt that we will meet, once we get out in the stars, 1 or 2 humanoid-like creatures. But I don't think they'll be this humanoid, you know what I mean? I think the body plan of bipedalism with manipulating arms and hands, that could be a thing, but in terms of them look like having hair in the same places, eyes in the same places, and all that, I don't know. There are a few things that have evolved. Like I mentioned, I'm a biologist. At least I worked in field ecology for a while. I've since moved into like game development, but that's a whole other thing. But let's talk about some biology. So, in terms of, would an alien have like a torso and a head and a brain behind something like a skull or other protected casing? Yes, absolutely. It makes a lot of sense to put your sensory organs as close as you can to your neuron bundles, or whatever equivalent of that you have. It reduces communication time, and the faster that information can go from your senses to your brain, the better. The faster your reaction time, the more likely are you to survive and pass on your genes. So in terms of having a head, and then like a torso and some kind of cranium, that makes sense. Like you want to defend your delicate organs behind either rib cage or a brain, or in case of insects, like a chitinous exoskeleton, sure. But in terms of looking exactly like a human, not so much. They would need to have selective pressures that are almost identical to what the chimpanzee hominid lineage went through in Africa. And the odds of that very specific, all those very specific circumstances being replicated on another planet, it's not impossible. It could definitely happen, but for it to happen very often, I don't see it. We'll probably meet a lot of different forms of bipedalism. Bipedalism is a very efficient form of locomotion, but again, like even on Earth, like our form of bipedalism, where an alternating gait, where you have to maintain balance on both legs, and you're doing that just by adjustments to your stance, like actively. The only species that we know of on Earth and in the entire fossil record that pull that off are the hominids. Humans, Neanderthals, and other bipedal apes, basically. No one else has had the brain power to pull it off. Every other form of bipedalism you see is either like chickens and other dinosaurs. And yeah, chickens are all birds are dinosaurs. I'm sure most people know that this day and age. The birds were the only surviving group of the theropod dinosaurs. So their form of locomotion is not the same as what humans do, because their form relies on having a tail and a neck to essentially naturally balance. They're not very likely to tip and fall forward because they have the tail behind them, and it gives them a center of gravity more towards the middle. So theropod bipedalism, it's different from human bipedalism. We're pretty unique in how we get around. So I do expect if we meet aliens, we'll see the theropod form of bipedalism. We'll also see, I forget the technical term for it, but like what gerbils and kangaroos use, the hopping motion, where they use both of their hindquarters at the same time. We'll probably see that as well. I suspect that the human form of locomotion, where it's like alternating gait, very rare in the universe. Anyway, we are delighted to meet you, Alari. Oh yeah, I'm very delighted. Now let's pause real quick because the Alari, they're not naturally going to be friendly to us, and if we leave them to their own devices, they'll make the horrific mistake of trying to harm our relations. Instead, though, let's let them know that we love them. We love them. By improving our relations with Isabel Salazar. Don't screw this up, Isabel. These guys. So I had a whole kind of background story behind the Alari, and I'll tell you it later because one, we are hitting our time is coming up, and two, it will make a lot more sense after we've met a couple other civilizations. So I'm not going to spoil it right now. And nice thing here, they've met another empire as well. So we'll talk more about the Alari in the future. For now, though, I think it's been a pretty good session, and looking forward to where things go from here. Hopefully we can get a migration treaty. Like I said, these guys, fanatic spiritualists. We are materialists, so that won't be a turnoff, but they are authoritarian, and we are egalitarian, very much so. So, I did not pull up our government. So that is going to be a source of tension. But will it be, tension that leads to a spark of something? Who knows? Oh, cool. Tiana Vec is down here as well. Tiana deck. So you know how the amoebas have a place that they're born. Well, another species that we haven't actually met also has a place that they are born. Unfortunately, because these guys are warlike, they probably already been wiped out, which is kind of a shame. I like to preserve spaceborne aliens if possible, but these might have been driven to extinction already because the Alari they don't care. They're they're warlike, and they don't particularly suffer the alien to live. But maybe we can change that attitude. Maybe they'll come around when they feel the force of our love and affection for them. On that note, this is Stewart signing off.